Great Vajradhara Tilo Naro Marmani Dharma Gampopa, knower of the 3 times omniscient Karmapa, holders of the 4 great Drikung Taklung Tsalpa, and so on, masters of the profound path of Mahamudra, incomparable of beings, the Takpo Kagyu I supplicate. Gurus, I hold your lineage, grant your blessing so that I will follow your example. Revulsion is the meditation as is taught to this man. Not attached to food and wealth, who cuts to this life, grant your blessing so that I have no desire for honor and gain devotion. Head of meditation, Guru opens the gate to the treasury of oral instructions to this meditator who continually supplicates him, grant your blessing. Genuine devotion is born in me, awareness is the body of meditation as is taught, whatever arises, the essence of realization to this meditator who rests simply without altering it. Grant your blessing so that my meditation is free from conception. Essence of thoughts is Dharmakaya, as is taught, nothing whatever but everything arises from it to this meditator who arises in unceasing play. Grant your blessing. Realize the inseparability of samsara and nirvana through all my births. May I not be separated from the perfect Guru. Enjoy the splendor of Dharma, perfecting the virtues of the past bhumis. May I speedily attain the state of Vajradhara. Primordial Rigden, all good Samantabhadra, great Vajradhara, lotus-born Padmakara, wisdom Yashe Sogyal, Prahevajra, Sri Simha, holders of the ancient Tilo Naro Marpa Mila Siddhi accomplishing. Mahamudra, please approach and grant your blessings. Dawa Sangpo, the other Dharma Rajas, and the 25 Rigdens who guide. Land of Shambhala, you are the sun and moon, the wish-fulfilling jewel, your brilliant of the world, protect my Vajra awareness, grant your blessings so that I may realize great bliss, wisdom, Gesar, Norbu, Dradul, you are the great activity, all victorious Sakyong of basic goodness and radiate the great eastern sun. Ashe, the essence of life, fearlessly reveals confidence and compassion. May all discover the power. Drala, lineage of Mukpo, you bring about the new golden age, so that I may liberate all beings, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, warriors, masters of the 3 times. You guide us along the path to liberation. You awaken bodhicitta, the great view of emptiness. You reveal the joy, transmitting awareness, wisdom. You lead us to perfect enlightenment. Grant your blessings so that I may realize my nature as the profound, brilliant Rigden. Short mandala offering. The earth is perfumed with scented water and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. Imagining this as the Buddha realm, I offer it so that all beings may enjoy that pure realm. In accordance with the capabilities and diverse aspirations of sentient beings, I ask you to turn the wheel of Dharma of the greater, lesser, or conventional vehicles.
Tusum Sanje Don Jejango Redum Jangura Jansu Jamda Garden Zumba Mebe Balde Lama Dambe Jabje Druduma Me Balangu Rabda Dede Gube Jansarge Jabsancho Jinji Labaranze Dozo Min Juje Yenje Borana Tusum Sanje Ganjango Rangsim Jugrung Sum Denze Ba Zave Lame Hyala Gujanza Tene Tatanda Tangbo Ngarange Chinamba Kangala Ngadu Deli Kyujida Teyendo Tanda Chinamba Jirdo Tambi Chula Tepatan Mugu Don Gawa Tan Tua Chimpanawa Tan Tene Tenani Tanda Mixalge Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche Shaja Chimpu Tangur Sembala Pe Gawa Tan Tua None Pepala Tuji Che Kyujudan Tene Te Jesu Tatanda Chinamba Jirdo Tambi Chu Sembe Kapso Kunu Number Tapa Yore Jitang che namba hine tepa topa ngone tambi chuela tepa tang ichi chi ne pepa hyata indu kung number topa yore te yinaya ta tanda lusul tardo shongchun chu tu tukki ne senaru chi hyoge.
First of all, I would like to wish all of you good morning. And so all of you have come here out of a sense of faith and delight and joy and devotion in the Dharma. And in particular, you've come here out of a sense of real excitement and joy and delight at this opportunity to hear these teachings on the Song of the View of Mahamudra by Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche. So I'd like to thank you all very much for that. And now when you listen to this Dharma today, please have a pure motivation to listen to it. Of course, you all already have this pure motivation. You have learned about the Dharma and you've attained faith through knowing about the Dharma. So you've understood the teachings and developed faith from that. But as is traditional, please also now try to implant that motivation of bodhicitta, the pure motivation, firmly as you listen to these teachings.
Tene tatanda jirdo chaja chimpi nyamgurindala tene zawa tene tawa tang chaja chimpi ke tawa tang chaja chimpi ke gamba tang tene chaja chimpi ke drebu te namba som go ne som ye pa ta re la te na ne tangbo chaja chimpi tawa te la ya ta jirdo tanda jiba ka go ne tusong ka go ne tena pate tene jirdo chuni gnelu de la ya tene chu tamchi tongyin da me pa chu ji yen ji ngo tena pa pa tene chu ji yen ji nelu je ta tene chu ji yen ji nelu de ya rang yin ji tong ba tong jo ma yin ba wesal de hi nim bu ngo dong dem ba ta te ta bo tene devar hi bi nim bu nelu tena pa pa te tene salton sondun juba senayang rong yen dang yi hi sondun juba senayang rong te ta bu tawa te tu song je go ne tena pap na tene jibo go ne ngi hi che par chin che ge yo re la jibo go ne ngi hi che par chin che na tene chu ji yen je ne lu de ngan som to ziba ta seni ge ne lu de ngan som to zigi yo re be se ne yo ma re te 팔cher 더 니보다 니히 체버진 제와라 때네 tene nyurdo topa cheparchin jilla jewe ge jo nawayin be cherna tene kasen ke kapsu hyaya de shaja chemo de yirin toru poshung de denga chiki tate ten din zamo de kam nandumba thoma nyongwa de thonla ki no se ta de jiba ka tawa tena papa kapche nyam nyong da bota jiba ka tawa tena papa kapche ni hiji pi sorte so yin ka.
Now, generally, in this song on the experiential song of this experiential song of the view of Mahamudra, there is a section on the view of Mahamudra, section on Mahamudra meditation, and then a section on the result of meditation. So it's taught in terms of these three parts. And of these three parts, the first of these is the view of meditation. And so, the view of Mahamudra. And so for the view, first it begins with a description of the view that we arrive at through inference. So what we internalize and comprehend fully through studying and contemplating. And so this is coming to understand the nature of the Dharma nature, the nature of all phenomena, how it is. So this is that all phenomena are emptiness and that they are selfless. And we can call this many names. We can call it the essence of the Dharma expanse, the Dharma Dhatu. And we can come to really understand what this is through reasoning. And so this is just the nature of how the Dharma expanse is. And but when we look at the nature of all things, they are emptiness. But that emptiness is not just mere nothingness. It's not just blankness. It also has the nature of the essence of the luminous Buddha nature. This is the way things are, the way the Buddha nature is. And we can give it many names. We can call it the union of luminosity and emptiness. We can call it the union of the expanse and wisdom, or whatever we call it. When we think about this and we come to study it and fully comprehend it through studying and contemplation, then we develop certainty through inference. And when we have that certainty that we gain through inference, then is this actually directly seeing the nature of the mind as it is? Is it directly seeing the nature of the Dharma Dhatu as it is? Well, it's not. But it's close. And so if we have this certainty, then that can be the cause that will help us to quickly realize the actual nature of how it is. And so here in the Song of Mahamudra, it says in the lines 5 through 8, it reads, "It has been a long, long time since I lost Mahamudra. What am I, a little child who's so passionate to do? I sit by the side of my lover, everlasting bliss, on the verge of seeing what I have never seen before." And so here, this is talking about coming to really fully comprehend the view through logic and inference, and then developing some sort of an experience of it and developing real certainty of that.
Tene ta te jeso ta ngaraso soho doji tipi chugo la hubatam ji ta te ta ta tanda zo tu sam go ne jibo go ne chuni ne lu de ten la phagi yore la tene te na phap ne ta te rang ga ta ne gom na tene te je thon jang ba da bu yore la tene te ya jitang ge ndoye 가당 땡주 통지가 나네 성나 드니 산지지 공통 터버세 발라 깔바 통미 섬도 선음지 추서 드니 텔라테네 드니 산지지 공통 터버라 성려 바제다 드니 대현도 송호 도지티비게 드니 맹어가 온드세나 드니 깔바 통미 섬도 선음지 추서 마그바 세지 루지기 순주 도진 좀 공통 토픽 맹어이야 바타텐데 성료와래라 드니테니 테가라 때나 깔바 토미송도 선음지 추서 그바제라 세지 루지기 상지지 공통 못 반다고 톱 미시 반다고 제다 세지 루지기 순주 도진 좀 공통 토픽 맹어지 여나 드니티게 깔바 토미송도 선음지 추서 그바텔라 그바톤 준세 매 반다고 진 통그레데 이나야 텔라 준세 요와래라 Tinindo tardosena tombo tusam jatane ngehiji tando remji gomni nyamso lona tini lamta riwa inbechena kalwa tomi samto senam ji tsusa gugi yore tini songha doji tipi ke lamni tuti to ngote ne Tenis Shaja Chimbo, Zoba Chimbu, Mengo Gamba in Betena, Seji Luji, Sunju Dojin Chongo, Kompon Togi or La, Tenitanda, Ndi Caps Laya, Tanda di Six Jebati. Kandi kapsole senam do tarto tu samje go ne jipa ka tawa tena pa ga cholte son rela tene ti je so nginju nam da ga jase ta te se sen tene mala kare son re sena ta ngaran so tene pe da tarwe so ho do ji ti pe tam bi chu ji nyam ling ga on de se te tene tu tri to ngo ti ne swaje chembo to zoba chembo ga tawa ngan de churo ga kapje nyamnyong ti kor la suare la tene te yang remji lang lan jup ge cholte sung ju te la ngenjung nam da ge ja se ta te wen sam rung su nyulma so ne hiba la so ba ta tende song na re.
And so when we study, those of us who have begun practicing the Vajrayana path, what we first do is we come to establish the view through study and contemplation. We use inference. We come to really fully comprehend and internalize what the Dharma Dhatu, what the Dharma nature is like. And then on the basis of that, we meditate. But if we just meditate on that alone, then that is a rather long path. And so this is why in the words of the Buddha and in the treatises, it is often said that it takes 3 interminable eons for the Buddha to awaken to the state of Buddhahood. Whereas in the secret mantra Vajrayana tradition, we say it's not necessary to spend 3 interminable eons accumulating merit. You can actually, we have the instructions for attaining the state of Vajradhara in 1 lifetime in 1 body. Now, when we look at these two, on the first glance, we look at them, it seems like, well, if it takes 3 interminable eons in order to attain the state of Buddhahood, it's not possible to do it. You can't possibly do it in 1 lifetime in 1 body. And then if you look at it together, if it takes only 1 lifetime and 1 body, then why bother spending 3 interminable eons? There's no point to that, no need to do any of that. It's just too long. And so, but actually, when we really look at it, there are reasons why these are said. And so in terms of the sutra, what the sutras talk about is first listening and contemplating and develop certainty. Then when you have that certainty, you meditate upon that, you practice the meditation on that. And this is a very long path. It takes 3 interminable eons of gathering the accumulation of merit. But in the secret mantra Vajrayana, we have the instructions on pointing out and recognizing the nature of mind. We have the instructions on Mahamudra and Dzogchen. And with these instructions, we can attain the state of Buddhahood in 1 lifetime and in 1 body. And so here in this song, when it is... when it first presents the view of the sutra, the view of coming to understand this through inference, and so developing real certainty through inference in this. And these are the lines that read from line 5, "It has been a long, long time since I lost Mahamudra. What am I, a little child who's so passionate to do? I sit by the side of my lover, everlasting bliss, on the verge of seeing what I have never seen." And then following this, then it teaches how we practice this through actually direct perception. And these are the lines starting from line 9, where it reads, "I assembled the provisions of pure renunciation and went to scout the mountainsides of the 3 solitudes." And so here, this is talking about the traditions that developed when the Dharma spread in Tibet, and the traditions of practicing the secret mantra Vajrayana, and pointing out and recognizing the nature of the mind, and developing the view of seeing Mahamudra and Dzogchen directly. And so this is talking about this process of looking this gradually. And so here, this is from verses 9 and moving on from there. "I assembled the provisions of pure renunciation," and so forth. This is talking about developing the view through direct perception.
Tene ta te yang tanda Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche ta jagan phobi yodo Chögyam Trungpa Saraha dong telopa la sopa namji mengo tene tejendo tanda zopa Trungpa tawe je na bamala matra la sopa namji mengo te nyamse lembe ke tapte ta pe kongjin ji jongse tarne tanda manyam par yuba ta tende re la tene ta te ya Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche ke digi nangwa tarje onde se na ngenjung namda ke jase ta ne se ta tambo korwa la ngenjung ji ne tambi chuchu go la hyo tene te jeso tanda ta ngaran so digi tar do daten ke hine ke tingen sen gam ne wen sam rungo so nyulma so ne se ta lu emba tan sen emba tan ngo emba te tene ta ti daten gam be kapsula tene tingen sen gam sem hewar ne tene sen non to ke jesu mandong wa che hine ji tingen se dro ta tende na wa che re la ta ti ge daten ge yo la tene khande nang ge yo are se na densung dangwa ge sara se be se densung dangwa ge ta dangwa che par che ta ti kapsula che nomba kanga gen chin chin pa tar to tamal ji hi pa ngote nang ge yo are la te sonji chom den de ta tutu chimbo nom ji dembar sum ge dangwa te nang ne tene rang sen ji ne lu de la ta on de la tene ta ngarang ta len do ye ba sen ji ne lu ta do ye on de se na chu tam ji ge ne lu chu ji yen da de or hi bi nim bo se da chen bo sung ge yo are de song ho do ji ti pe lam ne me ngo ga on de se na tene rang sen ji ne ta te la ta on de te la tene rang sen ji ne ta te ngo rang yin ji tom ba ta tene te rang yin te salwa yi hi ji na ba ta de ba je tene tomba inbi junsin de kanti resi na senji ngo la te na tene yeb ta kado ta tene ta te la ndramanda ngo nda bo dembar tribu ngo bo kanya thonya yo mare la te senji ngo ranking ki tomba inba la te ne kyutam chi ga ranking toni inba la te ne to gi yo pa chai ta tene te ta bu tomba yin na ya tene ngaran so chen mihibe 뱀본다 보다 tene donda boche la njurndo gre se na njurgi yo mare tene kondeji noncha tonji manyamba hyargi yo are kondeji noncha tonji manyamba hyargi yo are de tingo la tena tene namba dodo ndabo senje rangin de yebdon khadu gan namba dendu je namba la 통게 요아르베세 능우스 통야 간야 요마레 라 데타부게 뎀바테게 네루데 덴송 동와 동와테 나니 테네 랑기 센지 네루라 사라세베 테네 롱송 렌치 제 통나 네베 통송 지슈데 인효모세 당가라스 지당 지팅게 자와라 베요네 다단다 ngaran다 냠도 예바레데 예나양 nga랑게 단다바르돌로 만통와레 tene ten tona ta ten rigi yore chuni ge nelu do seni ge nelu ten tona ton zam ji chu de ta de ge khor do ngal le tolwa dong tarwa dong tam ji chen be komon to be lam me do so wa de be cherna te en nyom ba te ta nge hi ram ji je ne nyom nyom ji la ji be ge da chin da bo te na yin sa de.
So in terms of Mahamudra, there are the instructions that came from great Indian masters such as Saraha and Telopa. In the Dzogchen tradition, there are the instructions of Vimalamitra. And so these instructions, the methods they taught, were then spread in Tibet and are still present today without any weakening in any way. And so in accordance with the program for study that Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche set up, the first thing that we need to do is we need to develop renunciation. So I assembled the provisions of pure renunciation. We first need to develop a sense of renunciation from samsara. And then we need to enter the gate of the Dharma. And once we have done that, then as Trungpa Rinpoche established, then we can do Datun practices, where we do the practice of shamatha meditation. And so, as it says, I went to scout the mountainsides of the three solitudes. And so this is talking about sitting a Datun and doing having the solitude of the body, the speech, and the mind, and practicing shamatha meditation. It's talking about not following after our thoughts, learning not to follow after thoughts, not be distracted, and really developing the really strong samadhi of shamatha. And so this is like just basically what we do in datuns. I remember that. And so these are all, these are then following that it says, then I was the spy of the instructions that speak the truth. And so there are these wonderful instructions that we then receive. As you all know, then after you do that, and then there's the pointing out instructions where you receive the transmission of the ordinary mind, the Tamilgi Shepa. And so we receive these through the instructions from the Buddhas and the great Mahasiddhas who spoke the truth, who truly gave these truly spoken instructions. And they talked about how we can look at the essence of the mind. And so this nature of the mind is something that is always present. It's always together with us. Now, when we talk about the nature of the mind, if we think about it in terms of the sutras, we use words like the nature of all phenomena, the Dharma expanse, the Dharma Dhatu, Buddha nature, and these are really vast words, huge words. But in the secret mantra Vajrayana, we just look to see what is our mind actually like. And when we look at it, we look at the mind, and the essence of the mind is empty. And yet, at the same time as the essence of the mind is empty, it has this clear wisdom aspect of it. So why is it that we say the mind is empty? What that means is when we look at the nature of the mind, when we look at the mind, we try to find something. We can't find anything there. There's no color that we can find. There's no shape that we can find. There's no essence that truly has some real, true, actual existence that we can find anywhere. We look and we cannot see anything that can be truly established anywhere in the mind. And so the essence of the mind is emptiness. And when we see that the nature of the mind is empty, then we are able to realize the nature of all phenomena. But this emptiness that is the nature of the mind, the nature of all phenomena, is not just blank nothingness. It's not absolute nothingness. It's not an inanimate material emptiness. Rather, there's the possibility for all of the appearances of samsara and nirvana to occur within it. But when we look at all of these appearances of samsara and nirvana, we can't find any single solid thing that is those things. There's no essence that we can find or see. And so this is the way things are. This is what was truly spoken, the instructions that speak the truth. And so they've given the instructions on it. And so then it says, I was the spy of the instructions that speak the truth. There is someone who lives within the innate self-secret city, a single sight of whom is enough. Could that be her, I wonder? And so when we look at this, it's the nature of the mind is something that's always present within us. It's always there, it's present, but we just have not seen it right now. And so it's like a single sight of this is enough, however. So if we just see it one time, that is all we need. Just seeing the Dharma expanse or the nature of the mind one time is enough. And if we see that, then we will be able to free ourselves from samsara and we will be able to attain the results of liberation and omniscience. And so then it says, could that be her, I wonder? And so this is like a symbolic way of saying, this is it. And this is showing how we gradually develop more and more certainty as we progress.
Tene tate topate la tene tatanda chunu te la kandisi pengi yore sena jenche gadu denzimen zumba korndi ninong de gamen dari ko malu na hipar ndokjung yenji sunde de lusap cheo sumde la tangaran so senjine lu de gom senjine lu de to na te ngotre na ya tini noa kande hyage yore se na tini kapkala chewa dabo ga sorwa jitinchi noa de hyage yore la jenchi ge netan te chungwa la tini kapkala tatanda luji onde se na jenchi ni tini senji onde se na gadu tene sen kapkala gawa tang truwa chenpo tawa tang kapkala sen la dunghal tong chohin chenpo che ju ya pa hi me dewa la so pa nyong ju ya pa ta tende yung yo re la ta ti chen che gadu te tene nyong yo re nyong yo re te yin ya ta tin zimin zomba se zima se na shoja chenpo sen je nelu ngong ni hyar ge yo re sen je nelu de to na tene chewa tong gawa tong dungan la so pa tenzu ke chorwa te kante yungi yuwa re se na shoja chenpo toni ke ngone chuji yenji ngone sanji nelu ke ngone nyongi yuwa re la teacher na tela nepa chenpo che jal tuki yuwa ma re tene te tabi shoja chenpo nelu to sanji nelu te to me na tene chewa tang gadu ke chorwa te rangin ke dembar trupa tabo chi tongi yuwa re la tene tela tene ngaran so la pe kangal tang dunga mambo yungi yuwa re te yina ya ti nelu te to na ten zima te shoja chimbu nelu ke ne tang che la tene yungi yuwa re tene tanda ngaran so no ala kari yungi yuwa re se na sipa konsang korwa tang hewa nyangi linde pa nisu no te ya ta chitang ke gama te shoja chimbu nelu ke da rabo che ma to nguni ke tene senji nelu te la ya dendrup tong tang zing jing ki xiu yuwa sa ke ngu po kanya yuwa ma re la te yendo tanda jenche gadu tang tene te yendo khonde gi nino tenzo la ya dembar truba tang ngupur trub depa tene tende hira kanya yo mare ta ti gi ne tang te nga rang hlu song re nga rang hako yo mare tene shaja chimbu ne lu dong len do ya pa te hlu ne tanda ko ma hlu na tanda tenga hi yo mare te yina ya te ma hlu na tene higi yore tanda tang ngon tredu tela tigi netang rabo de hako ge yore la teacher na ta tanda te inchi menchi ngaranso chuni ge nelu don seni ge nelu de to na gawa gang gu pa te ta te kyong gu pa te tela gatro che gu pa te tela gatro chi ni nyams len gu pa te re la tenga par do la korwar cham gadu ga chorwe ge nar te kan chung re se na inji sunre ti lu sap che wa ta ti netang te ma hi ne te ngo kor so anda bo ji re.
So when we realize what this is like, when we realize Mahamudra, how does that actually help us dealing with all the confused appearances of samsara? Well, as it reads, starting in line number 14, birth, death, joys, and sorrows are the smile of a beauty. The appearance of samsara and nirvana as two is my beloved's hieroglyphs. Were I not deceived, I'd know it, but the demon who divides them has completely betrayed me. So, when we meditate upon the nature of the mind and the nature of phenomena, when we realize the nature of the mind and we have real certainty in this, then what is it that appears to us at that time? Well, what appears to us at that time are birth, death, joys, and sorrows. And so these are all the different appearances of the world. There are the appearances of the body. That's birth and death refer to the appearances and the experiences of the body. And then joys and sorrows here refers to the appearances we have in our mind. In our mind, sometimes we are happy and delighted about things. Sometimes we are depressed and unhappy about things. And so these are the different experiences that we have, but they are the smile of a beauty. And so what it says when we say that they're a smile of the beauty, what that means is that within the nature of the mind, the Mahamudra, they occur within that. And if we realize that, then all of the appearances of birth, death, joys, and sorrows are all just experiences that we have within the nature of the mind. They're experiences within the Dharma expanse. They're experiences within emptiness. And because they are just experiences in this way, there is no way that they can cause us any harm. But if we do not realize the nature of the mind, the nature of Mahamudra or Dzogchen, then it seems to us as if these experiences of birth and death, of joy and sorrow, are something that naturally, truly exists and is really there. And because we have that appearance of them, it seems like there. But actually, that is not how they are. If we realize the nature of how they actually are, they are not. It's not. So the appearance of samsara and nirvana is too as my beloved hieroglyphs. It's like the secret writing of my beloved. That's the appearance of the existence of samsara and the peace of nirvana. And these are just like the secret signs, the secret writing or hieroglyphs of Mahamudra. Actually, there is nothing that can be that truly exists within the nature of the mind. There's nothing that we can say that this is a permanent, real, truly existing thing. And so in this way, the birth, death, joys, and sorrows, and the appearance of samsara and nirvana, the dualistic appearances, they do not truly exist, but we haven't known this up to now. We've been deceived. Were I not deceived, I'd know that. So if right now I've been deceived, I don't know what's going on. I don't know that they don't really exist. And so, but if we were to know it, then we'd know the nature of the Dharma expanse. We'd know the nature of the mind, and then we'd be delighted and joyful about them. We'd practice them with great joy and delight. But up to now, that hasn't happened. Up to now, we have been wandering within samsara, experiencing all the sufferings of samsara. And why is that this has happened? It's because the demon who divides them has completely betrayed me. So the demon who divides me, this just means it's not knowing the nature of how they actually are. And by knowing this not nature, we've been fooled, we have been tricked.
Tene tate tanda pardula, ta tanda seni genelu matu ge pardula, tene chenche ton gadu gen sorwa, mamboje shaune kapkala ga, kapkala do, kapkala nyemon ba che, tene kapkala number to ba mamboje, ta tende chungwa re la, te chungwa re te yinaya te dan nyamdo, te chung yimbe kapla, senje nelu de la, njurwa ndabo yuwa rebese na njurwa yuwa mare, senje nelu de tagarang re la, te yimbe cher na, ta te ngaranso, pe kalwa zangbo ta tanda, huma korwalen chambare. 당 코로발레 타르투기요. 녀몽발레 타르투기요. 넘버 토발레 타르투기요. 가리레세나 다 단다 되네. 단다 당가란 좀 코로발레 돌투바다. 가둑 네단텔레 티게 만네 빠지. 샘 조아동 둥한라소바 만네 빠지. 정투바 디센 코랑 네단레 요아레라. 데 예바데 넘버 제도나 처자체모 코네 텐진네 드로르레티 조르지 댕긴데 축톱이나 두섬 잘외 좀 똘탑 만두세 넘버 제도나 다 댕하 바돌 ngo마히바레 대다 ngo히바레 되네 ngo히용 갑솔라 제다 온두텔라 처자체모데 나랑라 예바 나랑 속에 둥할레 돌 대와토 녀몽발레 돌 녀몽바 pombe게 되네 초동 투몽가 우드데 사사 현도들 런로니 토기요아르베신 토기요 마레 초동 투몽가 우드데 가나요아르스는 나랑 그 자트나 요아레 나랑 그 센지된도 요아레라 셔제 쳔부티 단다 나랑라 예바 데코네 텐지네 트로아레 데 나랑라 예바티 나랑가 하코알라 네 돌와르레티 갈때 쫄지 댕긴데 축톱 이나 쫄와다 제바다 나랑 쪽 갈레자 동할뇽 샘라 이메데와동 녀몽바동 넘버토바다 네셈라소바 헤당라소바 망보지 지데바테 테네 쫄와다 제바다 덴버힘반데 우니게 축톱바제 코란 덴버트바 njurwa mepa 테네 텐데지 이나 두섬 잘위 좀 똘탑만도 상지 좀 된데 다 내베 상지 또 마음베 상지 다다르쳔베 상지 통지 두째도 세나야 나랑 가야 제요 말에 나랑 해당들 Hedang the ranking Ngarang, Yore, taking the Nyamomba the ranking Ngarang, Yore, Dungal the ranking Ngarang, Yore, Yona, the Kanya Chia Yomare, Yena Tenzo ranking Maduba. Tini Chögyam Trungpa Nelu the Ngaransu Nyom the Saint Nelu the Nyom the Yaba, Yimba Tela Tini, that they told you Yorela. Teacher na tusam jalwe jong tulsa mandu te khona dembar trubaji Chögyam Trungpa de ngarang la me tene kenche gadu go chorwa te ranking dembar trubaji yena tusam je sangji nyam de sana yo tulji yo mare kaya nanya yo mare.
So up to now, we have not realized Mahamudra and the nature of the mind, and so because of that, we experience the birth, death, the joys, and the samsaras. We experience the kleshas, or the afflictions. We experience many different thoughts. And so this is how it has happened. But are these something that is really inherent within the nature of the mind? Is this something that actually changes the nature of the mind in any way? It's not. It doesn't change the nature of the mind. The nature of the mind is always the same. And so because of that, we are actually extremely fortunate. So up until now, we have been wandering in samsara, but now we have this ability to free ourselves from samsara. We have this ability to rid ourselves of the afflictions, the kleshas. We have this ability to free ourselves and from samsara and free ourselves from all the suffering of samsara. It's possible that we not be harmed by all of the joys and the saras. And the reason for this is that all the suffering, all the depression is not actually inherent within the nature of the mind. As it says, starting in line 18, from one perspective, it is only through the kindness of Mahamudra that we have a hope for liberation. If fixation on truth entailing effort could be established, there would be no way even the victors of 3 times could change it. And so, from one perspective means that up until this point, we have not realized it, but now from the perspective of this point on, there is a way to free ourselves from this. There is a way to recognize Mahamudra. We can recognize this, and we can free ourselves from suffering. We can bring ourselves to happiness. We can free ourselves from the afflictions, and we can attain the supreme and the ordinary cities through this. And so, and this is something that we can do. And the reason is that it's only through the kindness of Mahamudra that we have a hope for liberation. All we have to do is realize what is present within us. And if we know that, it's present within us, and if we know that, then we can be liberated. Now, and so it's because only through the kindness of Mahamudra, what we have inherently within us, that we can actually free ourselves from all the suffering. But then it continues, if fixation on truth entailing effort could be established. And so if actually all of our suffering, all of our pains, all of our unhappiness, all of our thoughts, all of our kleshas could actually be established, if all of our malice, all of our anger and hatred were actually true and could be really established as truly existing, then, if it all really truly existed, then there would be no way that even the Buddhas of 3 times could tame it. So the victors of 3 times, these are the Buddhas of the past, the Buddhas of the future, and the Buddhas of the present. None of them would be able to do anything, because if they could be established, they would be truly existent within us. If the afflictions, the kleshas, were naturally present within us, or if the suffering were actually naturally present within us, then there would be absolutely nothing that the Buddhas of the 3 times could do to help us get rid of them. but they are not actually established. They do not actually have true existence. And so if we realize the nature of the mind and the Mahamudra, then that's present within us all the time. And because that is always present within us, there is always this chance for liberation. And so up to now, we have not realized Mahamudra. And because we have not realized the Mahamudra, we do experience the birth, death, joys, and samsaras. And if this birth, death, joys, and sorrows, and all of these had true existence and really could be established as being something, then there would be no way that even the Buddhas could help us in any way.
남지 농자게 nom이 조무 nom주리인비나 졸주른도 고시 다 될라 남지게 농자세나 nom바당 제바세나 당가란솔 단다 초로와라 가리 용기 요아레세나 깝깔라 지팅제 콘라 대지게 nom바 용기 요아레라 대지게 nom바 될 때네 다 대지게 nom바라 초인다보지 와용 용기 요아레 대전도 깝깔라 초로와 둥한다보요 용기 요아레라 둥한게 초로와 tellatini mende dansem daboya yungi yore nongcha tati nongcha ndamanda hyargi yore nongcha ndamanda hyargi yore de nomi dromo de shoje chimbo senji nelu tamarji hibi netang de la tig namjurje re mato nguni dewa yinaya dembar trup deba ngupur trup deba njurwa meba takwa tende kanya yo mare dunghali yinaya deta takwa njurwa meba dembar trup deba kanya yo mare tini shoja chimbu senji nelu ngongla yo meba ji sena tingala tini de negi yo rela tig netang tela tini namjuri yimbina senji netang namjurje la hyargi yo rela teacher na korwa dunghal ji janso chimpon dele torju yore ngaransu nye momba pang tugu mare soni nye momba pang tugu yore la nye momba rang ngo te rang hinji tomba imba tang rang hinji salwa imba ti ne tang de he na tini tela tini njurwa meba yungi yore la tini junsin teacher na ta ngaransu ta jitang ta kalwa tang temba tini Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche loma 다 텐주가 가리또 요아레세나 되는 타말지 히바 ngote top 되는 타말지 히바 ngote top니 다 디게 내당대 하고 서제 친부게 내당대 하고 서제 친부게 따와또 발라 때니 다 둥할때 빵투게 여봐 둥할 마뽕 롱힌지 롤로게 여봐다 녀몬 바통제 마뽕 랑힌지 롤로게 여봐 되네 대 랑힌지 งู마드바임 바다 되네 다 대현도 연딘지 차니 나요 연딘동지 랑힌 룬럽지 쳐도 여봐 다 된데게 내당대 레서네 대 따위 땡나 파베 코르데 댕아 마토베 존생 드니 단다 또니 펜반중 존생 드니 대야 라메 맹어라 때네 댄송 동어 그 사라세발라 때네 또베 존생 다 댄조 땡나와데 대야따위 땡나 파반다 보지 인사리
Continues from verse 18. From one perspective, it is only through the kindness... continues from verse 22. But all appearances with aspects are an expression of the lover who has no aspects. So there's a chance for liberation. And here, aspects is it's a technical word. I couldn't find another one to put on. I'm sorry about that. It's like the images we see in the mind. So all the images of experiences that we have. So all the appearance with aspects. And to continue with what Rinpoche said, when we say all the appearances with aspects, what that means is there are various different experiences and feelings that we have. In the world, we experience feelings of pleasure. And when we experience pleasure, then we get attached to it. We cling to it. Then sometimes we experience feelings of suffering and pain. And then we have the sort of aversion and the hatred that arises out of that. And so there are all of these different appearances with the aspects that occur. There are the appearances that happen. But these are all an expression of the lover who has no aspects. So the lover who has no aspects is the nature of Mahamudra. This is the nature of the mind, the ordinary mind. They are just an expression of the nature of the mind. So actually, when we have a happy experience, we think of it as being, something being true, as something real, something good, and something wonderful, permanent that we want. But there's actually nothing like that. And similarly, with any pain or any suffering, there's nothing about it that is permanent, singular, or unchanging in any way. And so all of these just unfold and occur within the nature of the mind. They are an expression of the nature of the mind. That is just the way the mind is. It is how they happen. They're just an expression of it. And so all the different experiences and appearances we see are just an expression of the nature of the mind. And so because of that, there is a chance for liberation. And so when we think about it, we might wonder, can we actually get rid of our kleshas? And the answer is actually, yeah, we can, because they don't actually exist. They are empty of any essence, and yet they're naturally clear. And because of that, that's just the nature of the mind. It's present there. And so we are very fortunate. We have this great chance. And so all of us who are students of Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche, what is it that we do? Well, we receive the pointing out of the ordinary mind. We recognize it. We come to understand what the nature is. We understand what Mahamudra is. And so this is what it means to realize the view. And once we have realized the view, then we are able to eliminate all of our suffering. We will be naturally able to free ourselves. When we see our nature and we see that our problems and our kleshas do not naturally exist, then we're just naturally liberated from them. And then in terms of the qualities, the qualities are just naturally present within us when we see this. And so this is coming to understand the view. And so first the song teaches us the reasons why we have not realized it up to now, how it helps us to realize the view, and how we realize it by spying by being the spy of the instructions that speak the truth, by looking at this. And so all of this is establishing the ground. So the ground which is coming to understand the view coming to understand the view.
Tene tate tawe tenla papare la tawe tenla papage tsolte tanda tenchu chimbo jilame ga nala jitang pegoi gone ten yore pegoi ngon tembe nane ta pese salbo ko debo ndabote serke peje ten yore la tene teya tanda shona ser dodo chimbo je ta tanda ranging tana mejige lo tene te saga wola sang talala so big deb tene talala so big deb ne tita in the keni la so ba mambo lone tene ser de ma saula son tene te la tikap tana la ser te la tene njura yore be se na ser njura yo mare ser ran lo jata tontra ga part la ser de ta keni go la nena ya ser korang go la njura yo mare la pe te yendo ta ti ge te chu chimbo jilam ga na ne sam na deor hi bi ni bo sung bi war ngaran so shaja chimbo ge ne lu go on de se na tamal ji hi bi ne lu sung bi war ta ti ge ne ta te la tanda ngaran so tamal ji hi ba ina nda deor hi bi ni bo te khoru chun nong ga nang do te chi la so nang yin ta ti to ge yo mare la te ser de saulan roge yore pe ga on de se na ser de saulan roge yore saulan rodu tel ser korang ngola njurwa yore be se na njurwa yo mare pe te gen de devar hi be nimbo shaja chimbu ne lu telan njurwa yore be se na njurwa yo mare te yin ya ne ka nya mo ba don nam to ga te ne drip ne te ngu sun jal gi yo mare la tini tati jilama ga non to sona tini tita indo me ulbo che tati khamba thapcha che ja tita la di Tini tin komba tapcha te jani titen la de du te la tini kon soa jobo kale kabu kangal chenpo ta tinte nyonge yore. Ta tin uni ke ripi tachi je sepi ke ondu se na ko kangal nyongu ke yo mare. Junsen kariri se na korang ke kombi ke wotu na la ser dodo chenpo je yore la. Ser dodo chenpo je yore te ya ten na tini ko kangal kanya yo mare ulu dunghal de nyongu ge yo mare nyongu ge yo mare te ina yo korang ge ser te tana yo pa ha ko ge yo mare la pe te yen dong aran su tang ong de sena senjin tong ji la dewar hi bi nimbo sena en ra chaja chim bu ne lu de yo re te ina yen te yo pa te su ha ko ge yo mare la ha mago tu tini ti pen to ge yo re bi sena pen to ge yo mare ser la njurwa me pa yen do chaja chim bu ne lu dewar hi bi nimbo ge ne lu la njurwa yo re bi sena njurwa yo mare tagarang kora muma kandre yo pa tagarang yo re yo pa la te ne ta meche la te ngen hin ra bo yo pa che ngen hi kin ti ta on de tel me ulwo te thong zai me ulwo te zai ne a de ge dungal nyong ge yo re yina yo koran dungal nyong ge yo mare koran kan kan bo to na ser do che bo ji yo re te ku na te koran ga ha ko te ku na ko dungal le trol to yo re gwa din chen ni ti ge ulwo ti za la phe ne cherang ge den de ma ji di cherang ge khom bo to na te chi ku na ser do che bo ji yo re te ya ko te pe che tang na teni cherang kangal yung ko mare saune long da bo ji te na teni ti ge ti khal ni ni korang ge ti sa de ko ser do de ten teni korang kangal tham chi sal ta ten de yung yo re la pe te yen do ngaran so shoja chim bu ne lu se na enda dewar hi bi him bu ne lu de ngaran so sen jin ta ndo yo re la te ten ha par do la teni korwa thoma me ba ne ta la thuk ge par do la ha ma go wa te ta tu to che par chin nom ji mengo la tene teni chen un du te la tene tanda te ten un du ta cheran so dungal de nyong gu yo mare nye mo ba ten su ji sun rang gu yo mare sa je chim bu ne lu de sen ji ten du yo re so ne ngote un du tene ngote un du te la per na ser nye pa na yin tene kangal dungal dang je to dal to ba yung yo re la pe te yendo ta ngaran so thoma me pa ne khorwe ge ne sun chom dungal da nye mo ba mambu ge nar ta tinde chungwa re te yena yin Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche ge tene senyi ji to pa ngote ne tamal ji hi pa ngote na ne ngote undu te la tene ti ne tang de ha ko ne khorwe dungal le trol to ge lam samo te thopa re la tene te la yin ji min ji to gal chimbo na ne nyom ne nang gu pa tem ba re.
When we talk about how it is that we really come to fully comprehend and internalize the view in the great treatise by Maitreya called the Uttada Tantra Shastra, or the Supreme Continuum, that's taught through 9 different examples. And one of the easiest of these examples to understand is the example of gold. There is a big hunk of gold that's there. And someone's walking along and they lose their gold somehow. They lose their gold, it falls on the ground. And when it falls on the ground, no one knows it's there. It gets covered up by some litter and dirt and dust. And then gradually gets covered by filth and muck and all sorts of stuff. And it ends up just sinking further and further, getting covered up deeper and deeper. But when it's covered up like this, is there any change in the nature of the gold? No, it's still gold. The gold is still gold, and it can stay there for 100 years or thousands of years or however long it stays there. The nature of the gold doesn't change in any way. And so this is like an analogy for our Buddha nature or for the Mahamudra, the ordinary mind, the way that it is. We all have this, whether we call it Buddha nature, Tamal-Geshepa, or ordinary mind, we all have this. But because it's been covered up and hidden by all of the confused appearances of samsara, we don't realize that it's there. We don't know that it's there. And so it's just like the analogy of the gold under the ground. The nature of the gold does not change in any way. And in the same way, the nature of Mahamudra, the nature of the mind, does not change in any way, but it is hidden by all the thoughts, all of the afflictions, and all of the problems. It's temporarily hidden by all of those. So now, then the Supreme Continuum continues with the example and says, now, you've got this big hunk of gold buried under this pile of trash, and this poor guy comes along and he builds himself a shack, a really ramshackle, terrible little hut on top of this. And he leads this poor, deprived existence with nothing, having a real difficult time supporting himself. He has absolutely nothing, and he's completely impoverished. Now, if you look at it and you sort of look at the situation objectively and analyze it, you'd say, is it actually necessary for this person to be impoverished? It's not. He's got this huge piece of gold right underneath his shack. If he just sort of pulled it out and extracted it, he'd be rich. But he doesn't know about it. And so since he doesn't know about it, he doesn't know it's there, and so we can't use it. And so similarly, we have the Buddha nature. We have the nature of the mind. We have the nature of Mahamudra, but we just don't know about it. And since we don't know about it, does it help us in any way? It doesn't. Just like gold, the essence of gold never changes. The nature of Mahamudra never changes. The nature of the mind never changes, whether you call it the Buddha nature or Mahamudra. It doesn't change in any way. It is always present. And so then this guy who's clairvoyant, he comes along and he sees this guy living in this shack. And underneath him there's this big hunk of gold. And he thinks, boy, this is terrible. This guy really doesn't need to suffer all this way. All he needs to do is just dig a little bit and pull it out, and then he's going to be fine. He's going to be golden. And so, he says to him, hey, you got to believe me on this one, but if you just, get a shovel and you dig a little bit under there, you're going to get this big piece of gold, this big, huge hunk of gold, and you're going to be set for the rest of your life. Hey, sounds pretty good. And so it's the same way. When we talk about, Mahamudra, or we talk about Buddha nature, this is something that's present within our mind. It's there. It's just that we haven't known that. From the beginningless times of samsara, we have not known it. But then there are the great masters who have come along. They've given us these wonderful instructions, and they say, hey, you have this nature of the mind. It's present within you. You just have to look at it and see it. It's like the gold. It's there. And so if we look and we see it, then we can free ourselves from all of our suffering. So from beginningless time until now, we have been wandering in samsara. We have been tormented by all sorts of different sufferings. But now Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche has given us these instructions on the nature of the mind, on the ordinary mind. He has pointed it out to us. And we just have to know what that nature is. And once we know what that nature is, we see that we have a really good path that we can follow. And so this is a really wonderful opportunity that we have, and so we absolutely have to practice and follow it.
Tene ta tigi yetawe tenla papate tawa longwa dabote ni ta tingi hi cheparchi chiti ta tigi perna sasha yendo jelando kapsul tawa sedu ta te sasha kanan rogu ge yapati longwa kandi yapati topa saptan dabote ni parela ta tel tawa se ge yo ta ti tawa te ni ta te tanda tawa te la kanten yore se nang jipa ka tawa to ngasum ka tawa ni ten tina ni ngasum ji tawa te senjin ne lu ngote ni ta te to ge yore la te hige yore te yena ya te kap ka la thoma me pa ne ngaran sol kam so re la thoma me pa ne thura la kam so ge kap ka la tawa te to pe so nda bo je kap ka la tawa te ma to pe so nda bo yang kap ka la tende yung ge yore la tene kap ka la tawa te la ichi ye de banda bo ta kap ka la ti te sam ni hi me de banda bo yung ge yore te la kari go ge yore se na ta te la long gam be nyam slen ba te go ge yore ta ti ta ni tni gam go ge yore nyam slen go ge yore long gam be nyam slen ba te la tene ta ti tombo long nyam slen undi te la tene ta ti lam te tawa te to ne la ti ten la lam te nyam slen undi te la sar cha ta ngi hi yung ge yore la ta kam der sa na Jiriyan Mayin Be Tongzu Lamo, Jiriyan Charwaya, Sandang Deshin, Yin Miminji Jumi Chonchur, Dagazanki La Koji Dao Songri. Jiriyan Mayin Be Tongzu Lamo, Jiyan Madruba. Tene kando yung ta ngarang su senji nelu la tena ngupo nda chupari nda la yeb ndenden do kado ndenden do yeb ye na yeb ndenden do yeb me na me pe ke chol ndenden jin do sene senji nelu ka ngwa la ta na kaya jiya ma yin be tombe so ji yore tongzu la mo se ta cha je chen bo ta senji nelu ka ngwa de ndenden ji yore Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche, Chögyam Mipham Rete, Yinaya Chögyam Charwaya Sandang Deshin. Tatela Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche, Tini Namba Natsopa Chargi Yore. Tini Namba Natsopa Charwate, Tenda Chögyam Charwaya Sandang, Salwigandang, Tati Karirisena, Sanjing Owote. Kariri sena tombare. Senji ngowo te rangi tombare, tombu ngowo te salware la. Salwa yimbe cherna, Chögyam charwaya, sandang deshin. Salwa ti ngowo te hebdo tse na, senji ke nelu topu ke dewa chimbu yimba cherna. Yin miminji jumi chonchur ta tela kapkala nongwa hyar, kapkala namba natsukse hyar, kapkala dewe namba la hyar, kapkala dungarga namba la hyar. Ta tende yungi yuwa te, yinaya te, tene tati senji nelu ko ngola njroa me ba indu daga zangke la koji dao se tati somlo hebdo tang tene jihi ge ta na tene tela ngihi ji ne ta tagarang ri duga somba tende yungi yo re zoing.
And so that is establishing the basis, the view, the basis. That is the basis, establishing the view. And so this is like developing real certainty in the path. It's like if we were planning to go someplace, we first get out a map and we plan how it is that we're going to go, what roads we need to go, and how we're going to get there. And so that is what it's like when we establish the view. And so then after we have this view and we found this view, then what is it that it teaches? Well, in teaching the view, it's taught that we have the view that comes from inference and the view that comes from direct perception. And the view that comes from direct perception is recognizing the nature of the mind, realizing the nature of the mind, and knowing it. But sometimes, because we are so habituated from beginningless samsara, sometimes what happens, it's like we're so habituated to confusion that sometimes we seem to realize it, and sometimes we don't seem to realize it. We sort of forget it. So this is what sort of happens. Sometimes it's like we have really strong belief and real certain it. Sometimes we just aren't sure about it at all. We aren't quite certain what is happening. So when we have this basis, the view, then we need to meditate upon the path. And so meditating on when we meditate on the path, then we have this certainty. We have the certainty in the clear nature of the mind. And so in order to teach of this, it's the section on developing certainty because of the view, which starts in line 24. The goddess with an empty form, not anything at all, and the great bliss clear radiance that appears as anything. The magical illusions that maybe are and maybe aren't. In just these themselves, there is something to be understood. And so when we say the goddess with an empty form, not anything at all. And so the nature of the mind, it's not, when we look at the nature of the mind, we can't establish it as being any sort of a thing. There's no shape to it, no color to it. When we look to see if it has a shape, what is the way that it might have a shape? What is the way that we don't have it, that it doesn't have a shape? And when we look at it in this way, we can't find anything at all. The nature of the mind is not anything at all. It is empty. This is the goddess with an empty form. This is the empty nature of Mahamudra and the nature of the mind. And so this is not anything at all. It's not anything at all, and yet the great bliss, clear radiance that appears as anything. At the same time as the mind is not anything at all, it also appears in many different ways. The clear aspect of the mind is unceasing. The clear radiance that appears as anything always happens. And so there is the nature of the mind. The nature of the mind is empty. But the essence of that emptiness is naturally clear radiance. And so if we look at it in detail, this is the nature of the mind, the great bliss. And so then there are the magical illusions that maybe are and maybe aren't. And so sometimes we have experiences that happen. And the experiences, sometimes there are experiences of happiness. Sometimes there are experiences of pain. There are different experiences that happen. And so these all happen within the nature of the mind, the magical illusions that maybe are and maybe aren't. And so in just these themselves, there is something to be understood. And so if we realize this and we look at it and we realize it, then we can have really certainty in it. We can really think, this is it. This is what I need to know.
Tene tate tanda jitang ta tanda ngihi jibi chulde 동보 따와도 따와텔라 단다 공도 희바인도 지바가 따와도 응সম지 따와 니에베나네 응সম지 따와테 또 응সম지 따와텔라 somlo heb도 땅만 이 제버지지 내가 정힐라 고지다오서 되니 디게 터체바데 용한다 보지래라 디 터체니 다 검비갑슬라 검비기 뇽하지 gom nyong jege nyom nyong jege yo adela nyom nyong chebar jin jewa de na chu kan ken je pumo zal jong ni mi dong su je long so ta we tor ji yin tu de bon ne do we ye jurn zo mi ji nyar bo se ke sum de la na chu kan ken je pumo sum de la cha je chen bo de da ka ka la tenen koru chun nong ge za wan da bo ka ka la ji tin len de ba nyang yen de be ge yen da bo yin be chen na tenen kan ken na chu kan ken da bo 대 짤네 다 가봐도 처제 침보대 가봐도 따니 검네 냠순용 값을 되니 문에게 되니 도도라고 얘기요 알베세는 얘기요 말에 님이 동숙 짓더니 동백에서 롱오랑인지 동바 동백오데 살와 살동성든 주바다 때라 처제 침보게 만롱가나네 근친 롱중도 지기서나 예빠마이 달위 좀마지 매빠마이 콘데 근지 예서 예빠용 마이 매빠용 마이바 다 대답 님이 동수지 롱소타와 다티 넘바타 뎀바텔라 토르치 인투 데본네 돌웨 다 대답이 처제 침보데 가나 요아레세나 나랑 수냠도요 나랑 그 센지 덴들 나랑 그 셈니 로수 저바 매바 센지 네루 고데 다티